Hello, everyone. It's Annette Anthony. I'm your Director of Corporate Engagement for EXIT Realty Corp International, and I'm especially excited about this month's Techinar. We're going to really dive into our EXIT Realty Expert Marketing Suite, and you're going to be really excited to join this journey with me. So whether you are just tuning in and you want to get to know a little bit about what our tools and what we do, just sit back, relax, grab your favorite cup of something to enjoy. If you want to follow along, you're more than welcome to log into the Resource Center and follow along with me so that you can explore the Expert Marketing Suite. Or if you're already familiar with the Expert Marketing Suite, I can assure you this. You're going to learn something today that you didn't expect, that you're probably not leveraging, and you're going to want to write that down so that you can put it into action immediately, because you can. So thank you so much in advance for joining me. Let's just dive in. Now, many might be asking, what is exactly the Expert Marketing Suite? Well, it's a suite of marketing assets that we provide our exit associate. It encompasses all of your branding. Okay, so you don't have to worry about adding your branding again. We've got that covered for you. It also integrates your listings. Now, I believe that's a very important part, because we know that there's always a human element, right? And if you have to re-enter information, is there a possibility that perhaps you can make a mistake? Yes. So you don't have to worry about that, because all of the information for your listing is automatically integrated into the Expert Marketing Suite. Also, in this platform, we provide several ways for you to market your property. It's done for you, so you can save time. You don't have to outsource, which is going to save you money, right? And your branding will always look exceptional. So let's continue. I'm going to cover 5 things today. The 5 things we're going to cover is we're going to go and talk about access, like how do you get into the Expert Marketing Suite. We're also going to talk about what can you do first, because I'm a huge believer of giving you the full experience of the Expert Marketing Suite, because I have seen exit associates dive in and not realize that there's a couple things that you want to make sure that you do before you actually start leveraging the Expert Marketing Suite. The third thing is we're going to talk about marketing your listings. Like, I want to go into the platform and I want to show you, I want to give you proof, right, of how we market your listings for you. And then number 4, it's what I call over-the-top marketing assets. These are tools that you can leverage that will absolutely separate you from real estate professionals out there and differentiate you in the market, because there's choice in the industry, right? Consumers can choose whomever they wish to work with, and they will always choose the real estate sales professional who's positioned with extraordinary tools. Tools are going to help them really get that eye of the buyer to take a closer look at their home and really give their home maximum exposure. Number 5, we're also going to talk about how do we help agents get listings, because let's be honest, there are agents out there that maybe don't have listings right now. Maybe they're brand new in the industry, or they've sold their listings, right? Now what? We need to help them generate more listings. So those 5 things we're going to cover. If you want to write those down, feel free to do that. And again, keep me honest, right? Grab pen and paper and you can go through some of these resources. And actually, that's a really good point. If you were to just on a piece of paper, write 1 through 5, and then as we go through, I want you to make sure that you think about, is there something that I've mentioned that you are currently not doing? Now, this applies to exit associates, of course, but is there something that you haven't leveraged yet with any of these 5 points? And if so, I encourage you to write it down and then lean into it after this Techinar, of course. Okay, now I'm a big fan of jumping in and doing live drive. Okay, I'm not a fan of just having slides of this is how it looks, this is what it does. All right, and I think that you would appreciate this. What I want to do is I want to just live drive, go right into the Resource Center, and we're going to go right into the Expert Marketing Suite so that you can become more familiar. So if you're following along, the best way to access the Expert Marketing Suite is you can go to your desktop, which, by the way, you can also access the Expert Marketing Suite through your mobile device Yeah, using our Exit Realty Connect app. But I'm going to talk to you more about that later. So in the Resource Center, up at the very top, you'll see that we have multiple tabs. You can either access the Expert Marketing Suite by going, by hovering over Properties, and you'll see the Expert Marketing Suite, or you can hover over Marketing, and you can go into the Expert Marketing Suite. And the reason we've done that is because here's what we know. When agents think about my property and I want to market my property, sometimes they'll just go right to the property section. Awesome. But there are that other, type of agent who says, I'm thinking about marketing my property. I want to go into the marketing section. Does that make sense? So there's a couple different places that you can access the Expert Marketing Suite. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on the Expert Marketing Suite and dive in. Now I'm logged in as Sharon Richardson. This is her test account. But you still will see the behavior of the Expert Marketing Suite and how you could leverage it if you're logging into your own resource center. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, we talked about access. So this is how you get to the Expert Marketing Suite. That was number one. Maybe you thought, I didn't know that there was a couple different places to check out the Expert Marketing Suite. See, you're already learning. Now, step number two, and I've got little notes right above here so I can keep myself on track. Number two is settings to know. These are very important settings that you want to make sure that you've taken care of before you start using the Expert Marketing Suite. And you're going to see very quickly why that's very important. So the first thing in settings is alert settings. Okay, this is a big one, huge, because when you generate a lead, for utilizing our technology, you want to make sure that we are connecting with you. So there's a few different, opportunities here. So in the alert settings, it says alert type, a mobile business card lead. Do you want to know when those come in? Yes, immediately, of course. So you can either be notified by email or text, okay, or both. You have your My Smart Sign technology. When you generate a lead, how do you want to be notified? Email or text? And as you can see here in Sharon's account, both are checked off, because you never want to miss a lead opportunity. And we're going to talk about lead conversion also in this presentation. That will probably blow your mind, okay? The next is property leads. So anytime that someone is interested in your property and they're texting for more information, do you want to know by email or text, or both? And then, of course, new listing notifications. This is when you generate a listing and it's entered into the MLS and we've mobilized it for you. Do you want us to tell you via email or via text, or both? So you want to make sure that you indicate how you want us to best communicate with you. It's not how we want to communicate with you, it's how you prefer to receive the information. Once you've identified that, go ahead and hit Save Settings, okay? I'm going to click on my back button and take us back to the dashboard. So that's important. The second thing, there's three things we're going to cover. The second thing in the settings discussion, very important, is order smart signs. Okay, I would just write this down. Okay, order smart signs, and maybe underline it, maybe put a couple stars next to it. Order smart signs is so important because what it does, it enables you to take your My Smart Sign vanity code and put it right on your sign panel. Okay, so whether it's your panel for your listing, on any property, or maybe you already have beautiful signs ordered and you want to order a sign writer, it is so important that you take your My Smart Sign vanity code and the number to text to, which is 85377, so that when consumers are in the neighborhood and you have a listing in the neighborhood and you've got a yard sign out front, you want to make sure that there's verbiage that says for pictures and pricing, text, and then you have your My Smart Sign vanity code and the number 85377 to text to. So it could either be for pictures or pricing, and then your vanity code and your number, or it could be for more info, your vanity code and the number. Here's why. Consumers are going to be walking the neighborhood. They always do this. And what do they carry with them? Their mobile device. So when they see your listing, maybe there's no flyers. Maybe the neighborhood kids got a hold of your flyers and your box is empty. You have the information that the consumer needs on your sign that says for pictures and pricing, text, and then your vanity code and the number to text you. When they do that, it fetches their GPS location. It's going to show them the first 9 or 10 properties available for sale in their geolocation. So in the neighborhood, they're going to see your listing. When they click on your listing, they're going to get all the information. But here's the best part. When they text your vanity code for your My Smart Sign technology to 85377, you generate a lead immediately. And what we do is we provide you with the verified mobile number of the consumer who's checking out your property or any properties in that area. So it's no longer about, gosh, if someone walks by, I miss an opportunity. No, if they're texting for your information off of your Smart Sign, that's how you generate a lead immediately. They don't even have to, be interested in your listing. They just want to know, it's going to pull up the listings in the area. So that's really important. Ordering your Smart Signs, I can't tell you enough of how important that is. So as we're talking about settings and the things that you want to make sure that you set up, order Smart Signs, very important. Because you're going to probably wonder, why are some of the top producers who use this, who put their vanity code for their My Smart Sign technology, how are they generating all these leads? Well, this is how. I mean, you can have a sign panel on your front yard of your listing, but don't you also want to make sure that that sign is a smart sign? What makes it so smart? It has your vanity code and the number to text you so that you can generate leads while you're in meetings, while you're in training, while you're sleeping. People will come by, they'll see the property, they'll see the information, the call to action, they do it, you generate the lead every single time. Okay, so we're good. You're going to order Smart Signs, so important. Or at least get a sign writer. Here's the third thing that I want you to keep in mind here in this section where we're talking about setting up your account. And that is when you log into the Resource Center, you're here in the Expert Marketing Suite, you're going to see your recent lead activity. This is huge, okay? This is where it's going to show you all of your leads that you're generating utilizing your EXIT technology. I'm going to tell you a fact. The only way you cannot generate leads using our technology is, you ready? If you don't use it, if you don't talk about it. That is the only way you cannot generate leads. So it's important that you have it on your sign, that you're talking about it. And I'm going to give you some other ideas of how you can market your technology so that you can generate leads. But in this section, super important, because you're going to be able to see all of your lead information. You're going to be able to see their verified mobile number. You can, and of course, you can click on any of these individuals, and as you call them, which we're going to talk about lead conversion in a little bit, but as you call them and you're on the phone with them and you can let them know, hey, I'm here, what can I do to be a resource to you today? And as you're becoming friendly and you're communicating and you're gaining more information about what their name is, maybe best email to use to communicate, it's so important that you update that information here, okay? But you'll also get to see under source, where are these leads coming from? So you're going to immediately see on your return on investment, you're going to see if the leads are coming in from a sign. Are they coming in from your mobile business card from the app? Is it from a quick lead that you sent to someone? So you're going to see where your leads are coming from. So important, and the date in which they were generated. Okay, so that was the number 2, which was kind of beefy, right? We covered a lot here. We talked about your alert settings, so important. Okay, we talked about ordering your Smart Signs, and then we also talked about recent lead activity. So good. So let's talk about number 3. Number 3 is about marketing your listings, and there's several ways you can market your listings, and it's so easy, you guys, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and click on Market My Listings. When I go to Market My Listings, you're gonna see that your listings will appear here, okay? When they do, like for instance, I'm just gonna click on one. When I click on the listing, you're already gonna see that there's a lot of great information about your listings, but we have a suite of marketing assets that you can use right away. So for example, on the right-hand side here, you'll see marketing assets that are ready for you to use. So the first being that every single property has its own automatically generated text code. This is especially important, especially if you love social media and you love to get on video. Okay, not everybody does, but I encourage you to get out of your comfort zone and start talking about your excitement that you just generated. You just got a listing. You're helping a seller. You want a sneak peek into their home. This is the unique text code for that specific property that when people text to it, to the number 85377, a couple things happen. Number one, they get the information immediately. Number two, you generate a new lead, and we provide you with the mobile number of the consumer who's checking out your property. Cool, right? So you want to make sure that you're utilizing this text code. Put it on everything. Talk about it on, do an Instagram Reels, right? Maybe do a Facebook Live. Maybe put it on LinkedIn. Maybe you want to do a mailing. You know, postcards are not dead, you guys. Do a mailing to a neighborhood, to your sphere of influence, maybe people that you've done business with in the past. Send a mailing. Could you imagine, with a beautiful picture of your listing, maybe the address, and then on the back you want to say something like, you know, for pictures and pricing of this new property I'm listing, text, and then you include the unique text code and the number to text to. They're going to do this. When they get that postcard, they're going to see it's coming from you. They're going to go, they'll have their mobile device in hand. They'll text it to check out the details, and you get the lead notification right away. What's also important to notice is that as you're generating leads, you always want to make sure to ask, how did you find out about this property? So that you can start organizing how you're generating leads. Oh, I got a postcard from you. Oh, great. So that's a great way for you to know that your marketing is working, okay? So every property has its own unique text code. And I've had people ask, well, can I customize what the code is? The answer is no. And they're like, okay. In the future, is that something that we would consider? Maybe, but for now, we just simplify it. You've got a code, that's what you're going to use. When people text to it, the most important thing that you want to know is people will get to the information, and you generate a verified lead with the mobile number of the consumer who's checking out your listing. So good. Now, also in the expert marketing suite, you'll see that you'll be able to see how many leads that you're generating. And that's always a great thing, so that you can report back to the seller how things are going, especially when you do kind of a summary. Maybe you do, you connect with them every week and you're saying, hey, here's some activity. Well, you'll also be able to manage how many leads you're generating or how many looks you're generating as a result of sharing that unique text code to 85377 on social, everywhere you go. The next is the Exit Ad Center. You actually have the ability of creating a digital ad on Facebook or Instagram or Google. Like, it will automatically create for you an ad, which is very simple. A lot of agents get worried about, well, I just don't know how to do that. It's really easy to do so. You just click on the Exit Ad Center and it creates the ad for you. The next is property flyers. Now, I want to lean into these. When you go into flyers, obviously, many agents, they love to create their own, which is great, but time is money, right? Or they have to outsource this to somebody else. Not here. In the expert marketing suite, you have property flyers that you can use. You can just simply select whether you want a landscape or portrait orientation flyer. As you can see here, it automatically creates the flyer for you. Obviously, this is a rental. And here's what's awesome. The flyer is beautiful, okay? It's going to incorporate everything from your listing. The photos, which, by the way, you could edit the photos if you wanted to before you actually go to print the flyer, okay? Associates love that. It also has the unique text code up at the top. Beautiful photos, the description about the property, and of course, my best part is it has all of your contact information automatically included to that point, your mobile business card vanity code and the number to text you so that people can reach out to you for more questions. I love the fact that, you know, these flyers, when you click on, you know, the button to download your flyer, like, faster than you can go to the flyer or go to your printer and put nice paper, you already have a flyer that's downloaded and ready for you to use. That's how awesome the Expert Marketing Suite is, because here's what we know. We do not want you to waste time creating property flyers for your listing. I'm pretty sure you have more things on your agenda to do, like lead generation, lead follow-up, prospecting, right? There's other things that you need to be doing. So we love taking that off of your shoulders. The next is virtual tours. You're actually provided with 2 different types of virtual tours. And when I say virtual tours, it's basically a carousel of photos, right, that just go through in your tour. Now, we provide you with 2 of them. One is branded to you, the other one is unbranded. So I'm just going to go ahead and click view. We also provide you with the link. So whether you want to view it, you want to copy the link, you want to download it, you have those options. But it really is a really great way to highlight your listing, especially to your seller who wants to know, what are you going to do for me? Well, all of what I'm sharing with you is automatically done for you, which is really great. Okay. Now there's music, different genre of music that you can choose from, which is great too. Now we just took a look at the EXIT branded tour, which means your branding is all over it, which is awesome. But you're also provided with an unbranded tour where we strip out that information. And the reason we do that is because so that you can put it back into your local MLS without any of your branding, okay? So those are 2 already done for you, which is really great. The next is you have property HTML code. So if you wanted a digital marketing flyer, you can certainly do that. We provide you with the HTML code here. Just copy the code and you're off to the races. For those who leverage Craigslist, we also created 2 different ways that you can create your ad on Craigslist, which makes it even easier, okay? Again, time is money. Okay. Here's one of my favorite things that you can do in the Expert Marketing Suite, because remember, when people text the unique code to 85377, they're going to get an automated response from you. Now, if you do nothing, okay, if you don't do anything, it'll just say, right, when people text it, they'll get a response that says the number of bedrooms and bathroom, it'll have the link, and then your contact information. That's good. But what if I told you that you can make this a little bit better? What if I said you can personalize what the verbiage, is that they're going to receive? How cool is that? The reason why I believe that this is so important is simply because you want people to feel as though it's a real human behind the device, right? When they're texting that information, that they actually get a friendly response like, it's Megan, come see this home in person. And that you can also include the link for them to see this information. So good. So you can customize the verbiage for each property. Now it's not just one and done and it's a blanketed response for all of your listings. That would be awesome. However, not every listing is the same and they all deserve that individual response. So you can come in and you can customize it, and I definitely encourage that you do. Once you do, you'll just want to hit save, reply message, and you're off to the races. And then next you have single property web pages. We provide you with 3 different ways that you can promote your listing with a web page. So I showed you kind of the example of the tour. I'm going to go ahead and click on featured gallery. So let's go ahead and click open while I take a sip. Okay, so while that just loaded very quickly, so it's basically a carousel of photos, right? And down below, you're going to see it have all the information about the property, all of your information, property features, property description, points of interest. It has an interactive map. It also includes, which is my favorite, the commute distance and time. This is where you can enter a location such as where you go to work or where you drop off kids at school, and it will estimate or calculate a commute estimate to the property that you're interested in. Okay, I love that. Transportation convenience score, and then schools, all that good information. So I love the fact that we provide you with 3 different types of single property web pages. So already there's several different ways on how you can market your property. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hit my back button for a moment. We're going to go back into the Expert Marketing Suite panel where I showed you a little bit ago. And this is where I want to now have a conversation with those agents who are like, you know what, I need to generate listings because I either don't have listings or I've already sold all my homes and I need to replenish, right? So here's what you can do. When you go into when you're in the Expert Marketing Suite and you go into market my listings. Let's talk about, oh, dang it. Let's talk about how to generate listings. I kind of flipped here for a second, but that's fine. This is where agents can go to utilize tools to help them generate listings, okay? The first being is that we provide you with what's called a text code that you can share with potential sellers. Now, you'll want to write this down. It's called List with Exit. So here's what I want you to do. Take out your mobile device, because it's good to practice. What I want you to do is go to your text messaging app, and then I want you to compose a brand new text message, okay? The number you're gonna text to is 85377, and then in the body of the message, I want you to type the phrase list with exit, list with exit. And when you do, all together, okay, upper and lowercase doesn't matter, but when you do, you're gonna get a text response back that says, right, here are just some of the ways that we can market your property. So when you click on that link, you're gonna get a consumer-facing video, it's right here, that explains to you what the Expert Marketing Suite is and the advantages of working with an exit associate who's got this great technology, right? So what I would encourage you to do, especially for those exit associates, practice this. How this helps agents who don't have listings is that agents, before the listing presentation, will tell their potential seller, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, before I see you tomorrow, here's what I need you to do. I want you to have a sneak peek into the tools and resources I'm going to use to give your home maximum exposure. Here's what I want you to do, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Take out your mobile device. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, go to your text messaging app. Create a brand new text message. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, the number you're going to text to, does this make sense? The number you're going to text to is 85377. And then Mr. and Mrs. Seller, in the text message, you're going to type the phrase list with exit. All together, no spaces, upper and lowercase doesn't matter. And when you do, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you're going to get a link. You'll click on the link and watch the short minute 52-second video that explains how I'm going to give your home maximum exposure, okay? So that's a really great way to help agents who don't have listings have that conversation with potential sellers, because by the time they get there to the listing presentation, the consumer already has a really good idea of what they're going to do to give their home the advantage, right? With a suite of marketing assets to promote their property. So that's great. Now, what I'm also going to show you is that in the Expert Marketing Suite here on your dashboard, you're going to see where it says Demo Listing, okay? When you select Demo Listing, this is for agents who don't have listings and they're looking to generate a listing. This is what you can share with a potential seller to say, hey, when I market your property, this is, you can share the link. Okay, it's just a demonstration of an example of a listing. It's not their actual listing, it's just a demonstration, because you want to give them something tangible, right? You want them to experience, hey, so let me get this straight. So it'll be my house and my details about my property and the area, and you can schedule a live stream, your property information, your property features, right? You can give them really a perspective of this is what it's going to feel and look like when I represent your home. And it makes sense for sellers to say, okay, I get it. I understand how my property is going to look. This is actually pretty interesting. And I would imagine that not many people really take the time to show a potential seller all the benefits of working, with a real estate agent, what they're going to do for them. The third thing that you have, all right, to help you generate potential listings is you also have what's called virtual tour loop. I love this. The virtual tour loop is either, well, you have two. You'll have your agent virtual tour loop. So for those exit associates who have listings, multiple listings, a lot of you have a lot of listings, which is amazing. Did you know that you have your own virtual tour loop where it's going to do a loop of all of your virtual tours, and you can share that, which is really great. So you'll have the link here of just your listings. But for the agent who's looking to generate more, generate listings, the Office Virtual Tour Loop is a great option simply because you want to show the consumer hey, people are making a move. Are you thinking about making a move? And if so, let's chat. I think that's a great way to have a conversation with a potential seller who's going to be like, wow, this is in my community, or this is in my area, or near to where I live, or maybe where I want to go and move to, that I might need to sell my home and think about making a move and buying somewhere else. So this is just a loop of all the listings in the office, and you can certainly use this as well. So those are just some ideas, and that was in topic number 5, where I talked about how we help agents get listings. But I skipped number 4. So keep me honest, you guys. We're going to go back into the expert marketing suite, which is where we're at, and I'm going to choose a listing. Now, I want to talk about over the top. Okay, how do you really make your listing pop? How do you really excite a potential seller in just having them affirm that, you know what, I made the right choice, because I've got an agent who really pays attention and does above and beyond. So I call this my over the top. Okay, so let's say you've got your listing, and in the listing section, if you scroll down just a little bit, you've got a section here called documents and links. And this is awesome, actually. This is where you can include documents to a property. So it could be any kind of property documents. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. And I should have had this ready, but that's okay. It's all good. I'm on the fly. We're working together. I'm going to go to Nick Liber, because I know that he uses this quite often, and he's so good at this. And before we got started, I actually looked at one of his properties, and he has documents uploaded for this property. So when I scroll down just a little bit, I'm going to go down to right here. So right here where it says exclusive property documents from Nick. All right, so he has the HOA rules and regulations, but I want you to think about what might be some other documents that you can include on your listing. Could it be disclosures? Yes. Could it be a list of the property features? Absolutely. Any type of document that you want to include for your listing, this is where you want to make sure that you do that. And it looks beautiful. Not only does it look amazing on desktop, but it looks really good on mobile. Okay, so where you enter this information is within the expert marketing suite. You'll see where it says documents and links. So to upload a document, this is so easy, you guys. When you click on upload document, you just select the document to upload. So go find it on your desktop. Give it a title, give it a description, and then you want to click on the button that says show on web and save. That's it. It's going to look so good. You want to provide as much information about the listing as possible. Now, coming from my experience as a seller, okay, just recently my husband and I sold our home. We've lived in this property for almost 23 years, and we've added a lot. So much so that when I gave our associate, right, a list of all the things that we've done to the house, renovations, everything, he was like, this is great, but there is no way that in the MLS description that we can squeeze all this information in. So he's like, no problem. I'm going to add it as a document. And it was literally a 2.5-page document. But it was important for me to have that as a seller. I wanted to see that when he's marketing my listing. Like, it was really important for me to see that document online, because what it does is I'm assured as a seller that my realtor, my exit associate, is marketing my property the way that I believe is very important. I want to share to every potential buyer, look at all the things that have been upgraded in this home. Look at the quality of materials that we've used. Is that important to a buyer? Yes, absolutely it is. So that's why we decide, that's one of the very important aspects of working with an exit associate, is that they can go above and beyond and provide more information than what was expected. Also, to documents, you can also include links. So what would a link be? A link could be maybe an interview with the local chamber of commerce. It could be a conversation with the principal of a local, school, or it could be drone footage, right? It could be a walkthrough of the video. Dream it and you can make it. So where it says property resource links, you can click on add link. Super easy, you guys. Put in the title, a description of what your link is about, and then include the URL, including the https://, right? Click save. And now you're gonna have those links. Now I'm gonna tell you this, is that buyers, okay, they want way more information than what you're providing, but they don't like having to ask over and over again, okay, this is great, but do you have disclosures? Okay, this is great. What about lead-based paint? This is great, but do you have boundaries, you know, a map of the boundaries? This is great, but do you have the floor plan of the property, right? Consumers don't like asking, but they love working with an agent who provides way more in value than what they anticipated. So this is why the over the top, right, ways to market are so important. And we make it easy for you to do that in the Expert Marketing Suite. Another area that I believe is also over the top is where it says open house and live streams. This is where you can schedule your open houses, and that's really important. Also, you can use the live streams. Now, live streams are great. If you have a live stream scheduler platform, that's great to use because it'll provide you with a URL that you can include right here when you schedule your live stream open house. Now, this is probably more prevalent for when it was COVID and you weren't able to do, you know, in-person presentations of homes, but this is also another over-the-top way to market your property, because of course you want to show your seller, listen, this is why you choose me. You chose me because I'm going to do everything possible to market your home. They love it. Okay, I think we covered all of those 5 things. I want to talk a little bit about why sellers love the Expert Marketing Suite, and it's because you're able to provide them proof of how you're going to market them, right? You've got 2 different flyers that you can use. You can show them one flyer and then maybe a week later show them the second flyer. I'm not going to tell them that you didn't create these flyers yourself. I'm not going to tell them that, okay? But understand that they're always going to be impressed with, wow, you did that? That's so beautiful. I appreciate how you're marketing our property. You also have the automatic text lead generation, right? Where you can then, the next week, say, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I customize the experience so that when people text, they feel as though I'm on duty 24/7. And you can have them text to it so that they can experience what the response is. The virtual tours, you can show them the unbranded and then the branded version. You don't have to show them all of this at once, but when you just kind of string these along like nice little pearls, right, on a string, they'll appreciate that, you know what, we made the right choice. We've got a great agent who has all these great ways to market our property. You're not just giving it to them in one sitting, but you're giving them small spoon feeds of all the great awesomeness that you can provide. So the single property web pages, there's 3. The editable text response, I love that. The property HTML code, utilizing the the Exit Ad Center, amazing. And then I gave you a few tips on how you can go over the top with your marketing. I'm telling you, sellers love it. Here's another reason why sellers love it, is because you can have them text list with exit to 85377 before you actually go to the listing presentation. Now that's important because you're giving them the opportunity to get to know the ways that you intend to market their property before you actually get there. Is that important? Yes. It's a consumer-facing video. It's not a video talking about real estate jargon to other realtors. No. It is a direct explanation of how they can expect you to get to work for them. And they appreciate that. The second way that sellers love it, because I love it, was the fact that, you know, you're able to have additional resources and links and explain to the seller, listen, I do this because I want to make sure that any buyer is incredibly informed about what they're getting in this amazing home. They love that. The next one is that, try this for an idea. You can use the unique text code for the property. Remember, we talked about that. Every single property gets its own unique text code. Well, what if you created a picture frame, right? You have a picture frame, you printed a little picture. Now, this is an actual picture, right, of what my exit associate did to market my property at an open house. I know previously he used to have people check in, they write their name, their information on a piece of paper. But how often do people kind of not give correct information, right? Or their handwriting is terrible, you can't even figure out what it says, or it creates more work for you. After the open house and you clean up, now you have a piece of paper that you have to transpose and put it into an Excel, then put it into your database. No. Instead, right, you can use that unique property text code. And when people come into the open house, you tell them, oh, welcome, glad that you're here. Please do me a favor, text this unique code to 85377. This helps you get started with your registration process. So here's what happens. When they text the unique code for your listing that they just walked into an open house, they're going to get the text notification, right, with all the details about the property so they can walk around, they can see the documents, they can see the links that you provided as well. But it also gives you a text notification with their verified mobile number, right? Then you can ask them what their name, put in their name information, and you're off with the races, which is really great. Another ways that associates love it is, again, you're informing consumers before they actually do work with you about what is it that you intend to do. So that text code list with EXIT to 85377, many of our EXIT associates will use that in their social media posts and just do a quick little video to say, hey, if you're thinking about possibly selling your home because your neighbor did, maybe now is the time to have a conversation. Here's what I intend to do for you. And then you walk them through, compose a brand new text message. The number you're going to text to is 85377. And then in the body of the message, list with EXIT and then hit send. The importance of walking someone through this is that oftentimes no one has cared enough about them to walk them through it. But when you do, they're going to do it right every single time. Okay, the next thing that associates love, especially those associates who are looking for ways to generate listings, is they love the virtual tour loop. So take advantage of that. You know, if you don't currently have listings right now, show proof to your audience that people are looking to make a move. So leverage the office virtual tour loop. And then also associates love the fact that they've got the demo listing, okay? The demo listing, as I described, is just an example, but it proves to a potential buyer that, listen, when you work with me, this is what your listing is going to look like. This is all the ways that I intend on marketing your property. They love that. And then next, the marketing collateral. We just did a Techinar recently about Canva, and we uploaded 40 new templates into Canva, and we made it shareable. The reason I share this with you is because we have templates that talk about your EXIT Realty technology, so that even before the listing appointment, you can send them information about how your technology is cutting edge, and you're able to expose their home to potential buyers and get maximum price, right? And sell it in the shortest amount of time. Consumers appreciate that. But you might be kind of scratching your head at the end of the day trying to create a flyer, and you don't have to, because we've created those beautiful templates for you. And then associates also love it because you're able to use your vanity code for your My Smart Sign technology on your sign panels. So make sure that you're using your Smart Sign on your, you're using your Smart Sign technology information on your yard sign. So important. If you have sign panels already, cool. Get the sign writer, and you can put that sign writer on any property. And what it does is that people are walking around, which they always do, they have their phone in hand. When they see for pictures and pricing on that property, not only does it give them information about that listing, your listing, but it's also going to expand their radius to the next 9 or 10 homes, depending on how far that is, right? How far and wide doesn't matter. It shows them in their geolocation properties available for sale. They might be interested in another property that's listed by another agent. That's great. You immediately get their text notification, you get their mobile number, you can call them, and you can serve, you can serve their needs, which is great. Now, for agents who don't have listings, here's what you can also do. Let's say you're doing an open house for a fellow associate in the office. Awesome. A lot of our agents do that. So what you can do is when people check in, instead of using the unique code for that specific property, what you can do is use your My Smart Sign vanity code, right? And when people text that, it's going to give them information about the open house that you're in addition to the properties in the area, okay? So good. So use your My Smart Sign vanity coded the number to text you to generate leads off of other listings, which is amazing. The other reason why Exit Associates love the Expert Marketing Suite so much is because they get free leads. We never charge our agents for leads, ever. I know that different brands have different business models, and they do, but we don't. We never have. So this is a great way that our Exit Associates really value the fact that we give them technology as a part of their benefit, right? We teach them how to use it. We have a lot of trainings like this, right? That helps them lean into how they can use it better. But then the leads that they generate, we don't charge them for that, and they love it. And they, of course, as you saw in your settings, want to get that notification immediately so that you can respond. Now, on mobile, okay, we talked a little bit about how that looks. The Expert Marketing Suite is equally as effective while you're on the go. Because in the Expert Marketing Suite, you're also able to access this through your Exit Realty Connect app. So if you haven't already downloaded the Exit Realty Connect app, all you need to do is text app, so APP, to the number 85377. When you do, you'll log in with your roster code and with your password that you would use for the Resource Center. Same exact username and login, which is really great. You can go to your properties and then you can click on Manage Listing. When you select Manage Listing, one of my favorite things to do is you can select Share Listing. And as you can see, it gives you other options. You can open it on how it looks on exirealty.com. You can update the coordinates. So if the PIN isn't correct, you can update the PIN location, open up the details in the app. You can manage in the Resource Center and more. But if you select Share Listing, it literally will provide you with a link, and then you can determine how do you want to share that across, right? Do you want to post it on social? Do you want to share it in a text? My favorite is instant message because it's just too irresistible for people to see that they have a notification. They're not going to ignore it. They're going to go right into it, which is really great. When they click on the link, right, it gives them all the details and it's branded to you with all of your contact information, and it gives them tons of information about the listing. Remember, above and beyond, which is really great. So what I want to leave you with is this. There's just 3 small things. Number 1, you want to make sure that you go into your settings, right? Not really, you want to go and you want to adjust those small things that I mentioned to you, which is the alert settings. You want to make sure that when you get a lead notification that you are able to respond, whether it's via email or text. We want to notify you as quick as possible. The second thing is we want to make sure that you order your smart signs, because you want to be able to control a lead when it comes in. You know, having flyers on your property is great. However, if they're empty or if someone picks one up and walks away, how do you capture that information? You can't, not unless you're just standing in the bushes right next to the sign. So instead, you want to make sure that you order a smart sign, whether it's a sign panel or the sign writer, that lets people who walk by or drive by, let them know that if they want information, here's what you need to do. You've got the call to action, and they'll do it. And when they do, they get the information right away, which is so important. And then second, you get the lead notification. Now, you always want to follow up immediately with leads, and I'm going to explain why. Actually, this is tweetable, or if you want to take a picture of this and just share it on social media, that's amazing. But when you respond within the first 60 seconds, okay, your conversion rate increases by 391%. That's 60 seconds, not 60 minutes, okay, not 60 days, but when you respond within the first minute, 391%. And here's all that you need to do is just let people know, hey, I'm here. What can I do to make your day? You're checking out my technology in the area for homes for sale. Fantastic. Did you see anything that I can show you? Right? You just want to be that friendly voice that lets people know, hey, I'm a real human. And if I can do anything to help you with real estate questions, I'm at your service. So make sure that you respond. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did today. You know, our team is absolutely amazing, and we never stop innovating. And the reason why we don't is because we always want our agents to be ahead of the curve. We're always, you know, once we've launched the Expert Marketing Suite, we're always looking for ways to make it better. We listen to our exit associates. We have a great email where they can email us direct. It's techideas@exitrrealty.com. It's a great place for our exit associates to share because they're the ones that are out in the field. And they give us a lot of great ideas, and we always continuously improve. So I just want to leave you with a few things before I let you go today, and that we do a Techinar every fourth Wednesday of the month, and it's always at noon Eastern Standard Time. This is the only webinar that we do as a company where it's open to the public. And the reason we make it public is because there are agents from other brands who always want to kind of peek over the fence. What's Exit Realty up to? So they're always interested in what we're doing, and we invite them to learn. It's also great for exit associates to get that ongoing reinforcement of the tools and resources, and surprisingly, they always learn something new that they didn't already know. So every fourth Wednesday at noon. Also, you can follow us on social media. Go to @Exit Realty Corp International. You can also, this is cool, when you text Exit TV to the number 85377, go check out our YouTube channel. We have a playlist called Technology Training for Real Estate Professionals. I think there's like 54 recordings already there for you. So good chance you can continue to listen to great Techinars maybe once a week, right? For the next year, we got you covered. And then, of course, you can always connect with me. You can text ENGAGE to 85377. You'll get my mobile business card and all the ways to connect, or you can follow me on social media. I'm so thankful for you to be here with me today. I hope you had fun. I always have fun, and we'll see you on the next one. Make it a great rest of your day. Take care.